So good morning and welcome to yet another video. This time on the Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello S, my personal bike. It's been a while that I've ridden this bike, yesterday, but between that it was still a couple of months. And yeah, I was thinking about selling this bike. So let's dive into the reason why. So good morning. As I said, on the V100 Mandello S, as you probably know, this is my third bike in my possession. So it's one of three. I also have the KTM 890 Adventure R from 2023, a Moto Guzzi 1200 Sport from, I'm not sure, I think 2012 or something like that. And yeah, this one is also in my possession and I'm very proud of it. It's a really nice bike, it still is. And this bike has been in storage for about 2 months because the battery is dead, and the weather was bad and I didn't feel like it, and I wanted to go off-road and that kind of stuff. But now I'm on the bike again, and yeah, as I said, it was quite a good experience being so long off this bike and then riding it again. Of course I needed to pump up my tires because they were a little bit low on tire pressure, and that meant that it was riding a little bit weird, but now it's complete again. So let's fill it up. Waiting. It's not working. Sometimes you need to take off your helmet and sometimes you don't. So back on the bike. It took really long, I'm sorry for that. One time you need to remove your helmet and the other time you don't. So it's sometimes quite confusing what to do. And I prefer to keep my helmet on because I have everything in it. My camera's on it, Cardo. And it's also annoying to put on when you have earplugs and that kind of stuff, so that's why. So back to the Guzzi. So I was thinking about selling this bike, and not because it's a bad bike or something like that, but more because I bought a new house, and the new house needs some money because it needs to be renovated a lot, and I need some money. But let me get back to you when it's a little bit less windy, and I'll talk to you further. So it's a little bit quieter here right now, a little bit less wind, so hopefully you understand me a little bit better. So I was talking about the reason why I was considering selling this bike. I've been riding for half an hour now, and I already have second thoughts. So yeah, the main reason is money. I bought a new house and it needs a lot of renovation. A new garage, a lot of other new things, and of course I need to fill up the garage with some beautiful bikes, and this one should be one of them. But I was thinking, okay, how can I get a little bit more money on short term? So I was thinking about, okay, let's sell this bike and let's hope I can get a good price for it. Well, it's not the most easiest bike to sell, if I'm honest, because it's quite niche. It's quite a special bike, so people don't know it exists. So you don't get a lot of searches on the bike, of course. So that's one. So it's a little bit hard to sell. So I was thinking, okay, what can I do next? So I was browsing my dealer's website, and still you have to bear in mind that I'm still a little bit on the in doubt if I should sell this, because it's really good. It's a really good bike. I really love it. It sounds great, it feels great, it rides awesome, it looks great, it ticks almost all the boxes. But I was looking at the website of my dealer, Moto, and I saw a bike that piqued my interest. And that was a Kawasaki Z900 RS 50th anniversary edition. So you're probably thinking, why? Because yeah, and if you know me, you know that I have already had 3 of those. So I have one normal Z900 RS, I have one Cafe, and I bought the normal Z900 back. And I keep forgetting why I sold the bike. I think because it was a little bit too smooth, or I wanted a Harley Davidson, or I think 2 times I wanted a Harley. One time I wanted a GS, so I keep switching. But yeah, I was thinking, okay, if I would change this bike up, I would change this bike for a naked, or a sporty bike, or a classic looking bike, and the Z900 RS got it all. I know that bike really well. I know it rides really good, brakes are good, the engine is really smooth, it looks awesome, so it could be a contender. And I was looking for bikes that are a little bit less money worth than this bike, so I could get some cash out of it. So I've asked my dealer if they are interested in a trade up, so they would give me a little bit of money and I will get the Z900 and he will get the V100. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I picked the bike up from the garage, this one. I started it and I was like, oh, I'm regretting it already. But yeah, I have an appointment this afternoon to do a little test ride on the Z900 RS, and yeah, I know how that bike's ride, but still it's good to ride it again to discover if I get the same feeling that I had when I bought this bike. And I will be going on my V100 just to compare it, yeah, just to get on this bike, ride it a little bit, then get on the Kawasaki and see if I would, if I could change it. And then I have a little bit more cash and I can put it in the house, and of course eventually that money will come back, and if the money comes back I can invest it in another bike. Harley Davidson, for example, or something else. I've got the room. I've got the room for more than one bike. I think I will easily can storage. I think I can easily storage 4, 5, maybe 6 bikes. So it shouldn't be a problem. And then you're thinking, okay, why so many bikes if you have so little? You don't have as much time as you have bikes. That's true, but still, I think there's a moment for every bike. So now I'm going to work, so this bike is a really good option for that. It has really good touring capabilities, drive shaft. If I want to do some twisties, or cruise a bit, then a naked bike would be perfect. If I want to go off-road, a KTM would be perfect. If I want to cruise and have the old Guzzi feeling, then I can get my 1200 Sport, or if I want to cruise, then I can get a Harley or something like that. You know, my problem is I love all kinds of bikes. I have my preference, of course, but I love super sports, I love nakeds, I love everything. I want them all. But yeah, so that's it. That's where we are right now. So I will report back to you as soon as I arrive at the dealership and as soon as I do the test ride, and let's see if I still get the same feeling, and if I would switch up this bike for the Kawasaki, get a little money out of it, or just keep it, because I still feel that that's the biggest chance that I will keep it, and I will keep this bike not till eternity, but at least for 1 year. But we'll see. Such a beautiful bike. Yeah, let's think about that. See you soon. So, on the Z900 RS, now let's see if it still rides as good. Let's see if it still rides as good as a couple of years ago, and let's see if this could be a sort of replacement for the V100. We'll see. For now, I'm still impressed with the looks of this bike, and it seems like the anniversary edition looks a bit how do you say that? Better. The color is better. Liking the sound. I'm not sure if the bread box is still under it, the catalyst. I do think so. It rides really light, it rides really easily. It's a big miss that the classic emblems are not on it. It should be on it as soon as possible. How does it feel? It feels like coming home. It feels familiar. Still has it on-off thing, but it's not really irritating or something like that. It's okay. This one has around 2400 kilometers on it, so it's from its first owner. And if I trade in my V100, I will get about 4,500 euros back, which is okay, which is nice. It's not the best deal ever, but it gives me some cash and makes sure, and it makes sure that I have a little bit more cash for the renovation of the house and still have a very beautiful bike. I do feel this bike. It feels good. It looks good, especially in the sun. It looks really good. It's really smooth. So this bike is a four-cylinder, so it's a 4-cylinder. So that's quite different than what I'm used to the most. I'm used to 2-cylinder engines, but I do appreciate the 4-cylinder now and then, especially the smoothness, the power, sound is also really good, and this is a really good bike to just cruise a little bit, and if you want to go fast you can go fast, which is nice. And outfitted with the right accessories you can also travel on it. It sits really nice. I think the seat is good. I don't like the Mickey Mouse mirrors. I will put bar ends or something on it because just, yeah, it looks better. But yeah, it's a nice comfortable place to sit on. And I do like the 4-cylinder engine. Did miss it a bit. It's not like I would exclusively ride a 4-cylinder or something like that, or exclusively a 2-cylinder engine, but to have both options I think is really nice. I do like the simplicity of this bike, you know, no fancy riding modes. You do have traction control, you do have ABS of course, no quick shifter, just a really good engine. Some really good power. Oh, the sound of this bike is just perfect. This is stock, you know. Synchronize. So turn on my second camera. I forgot to turn it on. Maybe out of excitement. Maybe that's a good sign. But yeah, the bike has plenty of power. It looks absolutely awesome. Yeah, you don't feel the vibration, but you do hear it. And people say that they lack character, but I'm not sure if it lacks character or is it just really smooth. I'm not sure if character means that you are missing out on roughness, but smoothness is also a character in itself, you know. And I think together with the engine tone, with the sound, it's a really nice package. And I do think that when sitting on this bike it feels right. It feels, yeah, it feels like how it should be, you know, with the dual clocks and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I'm liking it. Let's do a little walk around and I will show you how this bike looks. And it's absolutely awesome. So look at this. It's a little bit more brown, I think, but I really like the golden wheels. I think they do match up really well. Should have a little bit more gold accents. I also like the normal polished wheels that it had, but these ones are also really good. I would absolutely remove this one, just to make the bike a little bit better looking. Maybe even do a tail tidy, smaller turn signals, remove this one. Still the original exhaust. Sounds absolutely awesome. It has no scratches, it has the DOC covers. Suspension is okay, it's not bad at all. Would I buy it? That's the question. That's really the question. Sorry guys if this video is a little bit different than normal, because it's a video about me doubting a bit. There is one thing that I really don't like, and that is the big radiator. From the front it's pretty big. a little bit too big. But yeah, let me think about that one. Nice seat, big, plush, sits great. Handlebar, yeah, there, chrome. It's not my cup of tea. I would definitely make this one black. This bike doesn't do anything wrong, you know. I think the suspension is good, brakes, engine, looks. But maybe that's the problem. It doesn't do anything wrong. Maybe that's character. It should do anything. It should do anything. It should do anything wrong. It should do something wrong. What? Bad brakes. Is that character? Not sure. I'm still a bit in doubt. I need to think about it. I need to ride on my V100 right now and think about, am I going back for the 4th time to a Kawasaki, or am I going to just stay with the V100, save a little bit of money, maybe sell it for more and buy a Kawasaki for 9,000 euros or something like that, and buy another bike with difference in price. Dilemmas and first world problems. Oh man, you know what I really like about this bike? Suspension. Even with my weight, I'm around 88 kilos. No, I'm not 100 kilos, I'm 88 kilos. And I know I look a little bit fat, but you know, I'm big boned. But as I said, 88 kilos. Yeah, the suspension is just so silky smooth, you know. You don't feel anything. You're just riding around, cruising a bit, enjoying the scenery. But you can also ride really fast on this bike. You can park it somewhere, you can look at it all day and enjoy the hell of it. It's a really hard decision, and of course first world problem, but I'm really thinking about doing it. I do want to change something, so maybe I would squeeze a little bit more out of the deal. I'm not sure, but I would absolutely want to change the Kawasaki logo for the white ones, and of course maybe on the mirrors, and yeah. So on the V100 again, and it's a really big difference when getting off the Z900 RS and getting on the V100. It's not necessarily a bad difference, but it feels completely different. So this one is a lot more woolly, a lot more, you know, how do you say that? It feels heavier, it feels slower, lumpier, or raw. But this is a really refined bike, but the Z900 is just so much more refined. It's a really big difference, and I do think that hopping on this bike on the Z900 is an easier thing than hopping on this bike, if you know what I mean. It's a bike that you can pick up here really easily. You go in your jeans, of course, Moto jeans, leather jacket, and just ride. And this one is, yeah, it's heavy. It's not a bike that you get on really easily. I do still love this bike, so I'm still a bit in doubt. Should I throw away around 2,000 euros when trading for trading this bike in? Of course I get a little bit of money back, which is nice. I get a really nice bike for it, a lovely bike, a bike that I would, yeah, I still love to this day. Still, it's a hard decision, and of course it's a first world problem, and I've talked about it too much in this video. But yeah, let me think about it. So I'm going to ride a little bit more on this bike, going home, enjoying it, and maybe I can come to a decision this weekend, and maybe next week I will have a Kawasaki. If you want to see my newest video, tap here. If you want to see my recommended video for you, tap here. And if you want to subscribe, tap here. Thanks for watching. Tap here, or tap here.